The biggest transfers of the summer saw Cristiano Ronaldo head to Juventus, Thibaut Courtois jet off to Real Madrid, and Paulinho pack his bags once again and return to Guangzhou Evergrande. But for all the well-documented transfers, there are some that might have gone under your radar, so here are 11 summer transfers you might have missed. Number 1. Paco Alcacer to Borussia Dortmund. Now this one totally passed me by. Last season Dortmund replaced Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with Michy Batshuayi on loan, but there was no option to buy the Belgian, so the Germans were back to square one once again this summer. With no permanent strikers brought in, Dortmund turned to Spain for their answer, bringing in Paco Alcacer on loan from Barcelona. The poacher has hardly set the world alight since moving to the new camp, and his time there could be over next summer if Dortmund exercise their option to buy Alcacer for €30 million at the end of the season. Then again, if Alcacer performs in a Dortmund shirt like he did in red and blue, then it's hard to see why they'd want to shell out on the 25-year-old. Number 2. Kevin Strootman to Marseille. It was a summer of change at Roma, who saw stacks of players arrive at the Stadio Olimpico, but there were also a fair share of departures. Raja Nainggolan swapped Roma for Inter Milan, while Alisson briefly became the most expensive goalkeeper in the world when he joined Liverpool. Another player who left the club was Kevin Strootman, with the Dutch midfielder spending 5 years at the club. The 28-year-old is now in France with Marseille, having cost them €25 million. Marseille are currently managed by Rudi Garcia, and this is the second time he signed Strootman, bringing him to Roma from PSV in 2013. Garcia was apparently a key factor for Strootman joining, but it's still a bit of an odd deal considering the midfielder signed a new 5-year contract at Roma last summer. Number 3. Patrick Roberts to Girona. The winger shone during his loan spell at Celtic Park and returned to Manchester with 3 league titles, 2 Scottish League Cups and 2 Scottish Cups. Not bad at all really. The 21-year-old was highly rated at Fulham, which is why Man City spent £12 million on him 3 years ago. Celtic fans had hoped to get Roberts back on loan at Parkhead, but instead the youngster has gone elsewhere. Roberts has been farmed out on loan once again, this time going to Manchester City's sister club Girona, where he'll take in a whole new league and culture. Meanwhile, Celtic have ended the summer weaker than they started it, but I suppose Roberts had done all he could in Scotland. Number 4. Nikola Kalinic to Atletico Madrid. He's probably the most relieved man in the world after Croatia lost the World Cup final to France. Kalinic had initially been part of their World Cup squad, but was sent home early after refusing to come on in the opening game against Nigeria. Kalinic was sent a silver medal following the tournament, but refused it, and his summer drama didn't end there. The lanky striker spent last season at AC Milan, scoring just 6 goals in 41 games in all competitions, yet somehow he's backed himself an even bigger move. Despite a rough year, Kalinic has signed a 3-year deal at Diego Simeone's side, a transfer that I totally missed. Will he be able to shine in Madrid? I'm not going to bank on it, he's still the useless beanpole striker that used to be at Blackburn Rovers for me. Number 5. Sandro to Genoa. So who remembers Sandro? The eccentric midfielder who was first a revelation at Tottenham before drifting into obscurity after a bleak spell with QPR. Well, he's got himself a new club, now plying his trade in Italy. After a spell in England, Sandro headed to Turkey with Antalyaspor, but half a season later he was on the move again, joining Benevento on loan, eventually suffering relegation. Well, he's got himself a new club in Italy in the shape of Genoa, where the 29-year-old will be hoping to avoid back-to-back relegations, while wondering where his career all started to go wrong. Number 6. NURI SAHIN to Werder Bremen. The Turkey international has had quite the love affair with Borussia Dortmund, but it's an affair that once again has come to an end this summer. Sahin began with Dortmund back in 2001, going on to become a Galactico and join Real Madrid 10 years later. However, his time in the Spanish capital didn't work out, and neither did a loan spell at Liverpool, as Dortmund was the only place that Sahin wanted to play football. So how will this transfer work out? The midfielder has remained in Germany, heading to Werder Bremen on a free, where he'll play alongside the likes of Claudio Pizarro and Davy Klaassen. At 30 years old, this move's got to work out for Sahin, as I don't see Dortmund taking him back one more time. Number 7. Benedikt Höwedes to Lokomotiv Moscow. A World Cup winner in 2014 with Germany, Höwedes' career somewhat fell off a cliff in the past year. Having spent his full career with Schalke, the defender sealed a loan move to Juventus last year with a view to a permanent move to the Turin Giants for €13 million. Fast forward 1 year, and Höwedes has got a permanent move away from Schalke, but not at the Serie A champions alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. No, Höwedes is now playing his football in Russia, signing a 4-year deal with Lokomotiv Moscow, where his teammates include Gregor Kukoviak and Vedran Charluka. Number 8. William Carvalho to Real Betis. After years and years of speculation of a move to the Premier League, William Carvalho has finally left Sporting Lisbon, but as you'll all have noticed, he's not with any of the current 20 top flight sides. Instead, the Portuguese holding midfielder has headed to Spain to join Real Betis, signing a 5-year deal and costing the club around €20 million, a price that will certainly have caught the eye of Premier League teams who seem to have to pay over the odds for players nowadays due to the extra TV money they're getting. Number 9, LOIC Remy to Lille. Ever since LOIC Remy headed to Chelsea, his career has been a bit of a weird one. He would win the Premier League with the Blues, but wasn't a prominent fixture, acting as deputy to the red-hot Diego Costa. A loan move to Crystal Palace was as forgettable as the American in-betweeners, and then he would head to Spain with Las Palmas. The drama didn't end there though, joining Getafe on loan 6 months after arriving in Spain, and now he's gone full circle and is back in France with Lille, who managed to avoid relegation last season. And to think, it might have been oh so different for LOIC Remy had he just signed for Newcastle permanently all those years ago. Number 10, NANI to Sporting. So it looks like NANI isn't Cristiano Ronaldo light anymore. The winger did well at times at Manchester United in the shadows of Portugal's real superstar, but was never really able to take his game up to that next level. After one emotional loan return to Sporting, NANI is now back there permanently, following a loan spell at Lazio last season. Since that loan return to Sporting in his final year as a Manchester United player, NANI has been at Fenerbahce, Valencia and the previously mentioned Lazio, before returning permanently to Portugal, as he's become something of a journeyman since his Manchester United exit. Another example of a player who Sir Alex Ferguson got the absolute best out of, NANI will look back at his time with Manchester United with joy and wonder why he was never able to kick on and become an elite level footballer. And number 11, Mariano to Real Madrid. I honestly don't know how I missed this one. Like, was I under a rock this day? The Brazilian returned to Real Madrid after just 1 year with Lyon, a year in which he bagged 18 Ligue 1 goals for the French club. Mariano cost Real Madrid €23 million, and the pressure has immediately been placed on his shoulders after being handed the iconic number 7 shirt that was taken to a whole new level by Cristiano Ronaldo. I feel like we've mentioned Ronaldo a lot this video. When Madrid sold their best player, you'd have been certain that they would go out of their way to sign a marquee player, someone like Mbappe or Neymar, but that hasn't happened. Instead it's Mariano who has to fill the Cristiano Ronaldo shaped hole in their squad. Good luck kid, you're gonna need it. So those are 11 transfers you might have missed this summer. Let us know which deal is the best in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.